All right, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Inspiration in a Box. How's it going, Sean? How you doing, buddy?
Hey, everybody. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, man. Happy Friday. Really great to be here. I've been looking forward to this since the last one. Trust me, this is a big deal. I know we both get excited about this, but when it's actually happening, it's like, yes, it's so great. So welcome. We've got a great show for you, and I will just start with some introductions. My name is Lee Kitchen. I'm an innovation catalyst. I worked for Disney for 32 years, and now I'm on my own. I run a company called Magical Dude Consulting, and I go out into the world and help people solve problems. I teach them how to be more creative and more innovative. I also help run brainstorms and facilitations. I pivoted my business to all online now, so I actually run a lot of Zoom presentations and Zoom workshops and virtual workshops of any kind, really, and even a happy hour every now and then. So, and now I'd like to introduce you to my partner in crime, Mr. Sean Brown, ladies and gentlemen. Sean, welcome. How you doing, bud?
Good. So glad to be here again with you. November is the kickoff of 2 months of holidays for me. So this is like Holiday Edition Part 1, right?
Right.
Sean Brown, and I work for Disney and also created my own business on the side called Ignite the Mind, doing a lot of the same that Lee did and does. And it's funny because we actually had the same role within the Disney company at different times.
Nice.
And so we both been inspired to try and help people see things differently they look at every day.
Yep.
Yes, that's
and you know, Sean, I got your phone calls for at least another 10 years after you left.
Right.
I know I joked about that before, but then I started getting your next job calls too, so they were just going to that number. So it looks like we have a really great crowd out there. So I'm going to welcome some of the folks that I know. I see some VIPs out there. Emily from Hamilton, Ontario. Welcome, Emily. I see Janice. How's it going, Janice? I see Wayne. How's it going, Wayne from North Carolina? We've got Claudine in the house. It looks like Mark's in the house too. What's up, Mark? We got a funny thing to show you a little bit later that you'll get a kick out of. Jenna, it looks like Jenna's here. Justin, I see Laura in there, and Liz. How's it going? McKenna, all the way from Los Angeles, California. So thank you, McKenna, for being here. So we got a great crowd so far. So one of the ways that we're that's gonna help us kind of moderate this the chat and make sure you guys have a chance to talk to us and comment on the stuff is our wonderful moderator Jose Gutierrez, and we figured out a way to actually bring him in. So let's see if I can actually do that. Sean, I'm going to fade out of us just for a second, and then I'm going to see if I can get Jose via video, and let's see if he's there. Jose, can you hear us? Can you see us?
Hello,
hey,
everybody!
There he is.
Cool to be here.
Jose, how you doing, man? Good to see you.
I'm all good. So we're excited for another Inspiration in a Box.
Excellent. So, tell us where you are. Where are you right now?
Okay, so I'm originally from Chile, but now I'm living in Germany for 2 years. I finished my bachelor's degree now, and I'm currently trying to start up a startup. So
nice.
Yeah, that's me right now.
Excellent. And tell us a little bit about you're also going to school, right? Is what kind of degree are you getting?
I just finished 2 bachelors right now because they're double degree.
Nice.
And hopefully next year I'm really looking forward to going to a master's degree.
Excellent. Well, we are so happy to have you here, man. So you guys, Jose and I met at a session that I did for my good buddy Josh, who's getting his PhD in Grenoble, France. And Jose was the most amazing producer, and I am one to be a skeptic about anybody who says they're a Zoom producer, because I thought I was the only one who could actually do it right. But man, Jose does it really great. And anytime, if you need a Zoom producer or you need a chat moderator or somebody to help you out, don't go it alone. It's much easy. Jose, I'm going to ask you to put your LinkedIn link in the chat so everybody knows how to contact you. But we are so happy to have you, and I'm going to see if I'm going to send you up into the cloud now, so we're going to hear your voice, and then I'm going to see if I can get Sean back. So we will see you soon, bud. Thank you very much for being here. All right, let's see if I can get Sean back in the house here. Check 1 2. All right. Here we go. There he is. There he is. Excellent. All right. So we are going to proceed with the presentation. Again, we want you guys to join in with us with the chat. We appreciate. We know it's some of your first time on Twitch, and that was a big step, you guys. So thank you very much for making that. Actually, Twitch is normally used for as a gaming platform, but I discovered it because I do a DJ feed every Friday night, which is tonight. Put a plug in for that, 9 to 10:30 Eastern. And I've noticed that a lot of people are doing talk shows and things like that, so we thought it would be a perfect space to take this as well. All right, Sean, I'm going to go ahead and move forward with the presentation here. Stand by. Here we go. And we're trying to give you a little bit of inspiration in a box to help you see outside of yours. That is our mantra, and hopefully this presentation is intended to inspire you. Sean, I love the fact that you put this in here. It's hilarious. Here's the deal, guys. We are the modern day Wayne and Garth, right? I mean, we are not broadcast professionals by any means. So we want to always make this comparison that we are just a bunch of goof-offs in our basement, basically broadcasting and on cable access television, or the new version of cable access television, right?
Except, let's be honest, we'd both be pretty happy with the hair.
Yeah, exactly. All right, we want to start real quick with some rules. And, of course, if you've ever seen pirates before, they're merely guidelines. So we want to make sure that everybody stays positive and open-minded. We know that you guys have had a stressful week. We, too, have had that stressful week. We haven't got much sleep this week. We all know why. And so just try to be as positive as possible. We want to show you some inspiration that will help you kind of store stuff in your subconscious. So when it comes time for you to come up with ideas, you'll have a lot of this great input to make connections with. We want you to share the air. So make sure you give everybody a chance to talk in the chat, and make sure you're respectful and share the air, of course. Next one is being respectful in the chat is great. Jose is a really wonderful moderator, but he has been given instructions to put people in timeout who may get unruly. So thank you, Jose, for that. And we never had that happen, so knock on wood, everything's cool. We definitely want you to build and yes and. So if you see something that we posted and you've seen it before, or maybe you've seen an execution similar to it, we definitely want you to talk about that in the chat. And then also give us your yes ands, like add your thoughts about the idea and how we can build it. Definitely pay it forward. So at the end of this presentation, we give a link tree. And in that link tree will be all the links there. And if you know someone who could benefit from this information, or who there's a principle behind something that you could add to it, definitely add that. And we want you to have fun, right, Sean?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of key. That's kind of key. So let's get us back here really quick, Sean. I'm gonna do that. Hold on. I'm gonna go back to this. Stand by again with the broadcast stuff. And wait. That was the wrong one.
Hey, Lee.
Yes.
As a window curtain, just to say thank you to all the people that are reacting to the chat, and welcome to the newcomers, and hopefully they can have a good time today.
Excellent. Thank you. And Jose, we definitely want you to interrupt us. So if we're going on too much and some people have some comments, we want to make sure that we react to it in the slides so we can have that dialogue. So thank you for interrupting us at any point. So Sean,
Sure.
I'll turn it back over to you. You can talk a little bit about technical difficulties, and then we will get rolling.
Absolutely. I mean, let's be honest. This is public access television 2020, right? If I had a basement, I'd probably be set up in it right now.
Exactly.
So bear with us. We are working through some stuff. I have enough wire right now going through my bedroom that could probably tie up Godzilla.
And
But
Sean,
we're
I got to
excited.
tell you look really great this time. You got a new camera or something, because you look incredible. Your face is like perfectly lit and everything. Very nice.
It's almost like every month I'm upgrading. Amazon's coming to my house. My wife is just rolling her eyes.
Right.
What are you getting? Lights and cameras, and it's. But this has been great.
Nice.
I do want to emphasize too, Big Bear. We love that everyone's chatting in the stream. We want to get you involved too. So as we're going through some of these really great examples, we're going to do our best to watch the chat. You're going to see us looking down in a way, but we'd love to get your inspiration too, and we'll have some dialogue about it.
Yeah, and I'm noticing Gert is joining in too. Hey, Gert, how you doing?
Yes.
And Josh, we just talked about you, Josh, and then you just appeared. That was pretty cool. Welcome. All right, Sean, are you ready to get started?
I'm ready, buddy.
All right,
Let's go.
here we go. Here we go. All right, the first one, the fake commute. That's all you, man.
Absolutely. So starting when everything started, was COVID was kicking in back in March, and my work, people working and not working and all that stuff. I literally started getting in my car. I would drive past 10 gas stations just to go to a far gas station. I had like a 10-mile route where I'd stop at Dunkin' Donuts, get coffee, and I would listen to a podcast just to have some kind of pre-work commute thing.
Yeah.
And so my wife thought I was nuts, and I was really excited to see this article. So I said, see, I'm not nuts. So people are looking for ways to put that break into their day when, I don't want to say we're stuck from home, because I think there's a lot of really great stuff of being at home. And I can share some stories later on, but you got to break it up. So the fake commute is becoming a real thing, with people inserting some type of process before they sit down at the computer for the day.
Absolutely. It's really important too, because at home, at work, there's calls. People will call you and say, hey, you want to go to lunch, or let's meet in another area and talk. And there's things that naturally occur when you're in the workspace. When you're at home, you can easily sit in that home office for 8 hours and not realize that you've done that. So a lot of articles, I've read a lot of articles on Zoom fatigue because I'm trying so hard to make the Zooms that I do so much more unique. And one of the things it says is that you have to get up, you have to stand up. At every 15 or 20 minutes, you actually have to get up and have to move. So if you come to one of my sessions, Sean, I'm making you dance. We're doing a little dancing here. But I mean, from my own perspective, I have 3 rooms I spend a lot of time in my house. I have my studio that I'm broadcasting from here. I have my home office, and of course I have my room, which is set up with my Xbox and video games and stuff like that. But I cannot spend too much time in either one of them, so I have to consciously move around. So like today, I will spend the whole day in the studio. Tomorrow, I'll spend more time in the office. But the dog, he gets to go on a lot of walks. You got to take your mind off it. So getting a routine that really keeps some sanity about it. Really good one.
One other thing, just about being from home, I quickly mentioned a couple stories, but so I have one daughter who's finishing her senior year in high school, another daughter who is in her junior year in college, and she's come home a couple times. But long story short, what's been really cool is being from home like this. I got to listen to my daughter interview for a couple of internships.
Oh, cool.
Which you never would be able, right? It's something you can't even get information out of them. But it was an amazing thing that I never would have been able to do is and be so proud and hear her talking to someone from Dublin and people with a couple other companies. And then my younger daughter, she's teaching dance class for a beginner dance class with a high school. So she goes in the garage, but I can hear her interacting with people.
Yeah.
The whole work from home thing, right, just coming full circle. There's so much I think that's going to change from an employment perspective and people's happiness. Granted, these are really crummy circumstances, but I'm hoping everyone's going to see the value of being able to be in your home more and around your family more. So.
Right. Hey, Jose, I saw some comments in there. Anybody have other creative ways that they're making sure that they don't get too much video call fatigue?
No, not really. But maybe you could give them like a little bit of a boost so they can write their thoughts on the chat so we can.
Yeah, nice. So anybody have any ideas like that they do constantly? I see that TRV. Travel Chick, that's who it is. She's actually doing meditation and doing a silver platter in another room to get the day started. So that's again a great idea. Any thoughts that you guys have, or any routines that you do could really help? Like Sean's routine of just going for a drive to Starbucks and back, really great. Laura does a little bit of biking and swimming. That's really awesome. M Forte 2131. I've worked from home for years, and it's where I've enclosed my side porch for my office. Oh, that's great. Yeah, I think having multiple workspaces around your house also, I see a lot of people doing that on Zoom as well. So sometimes they'll be in there, have a lot of nature in the background. Sometimes they'll be in a Florida room or something like that. Walk and talk meetings. Justin, that's funny that you say that, because one of the things we recommend in our creativity classes is to mix up the people that you talk with ideas about, but also actually physically do something while you're doing that. So walking and talking is a great way to get the blood flowing to the brain, which will open up that reticular activation system to make sure that you can get out all those connections. So great example. This one's from Diana. Welcome, Diana. How you doing? Josh and I have started visiting puppy adoption places to play with puppies as a mental and physical break. I would love to do that, Diana, but I would probably have 5 puppies by then because I get really attached. So really, really great. Thank you guys for adding that stuff in. Jose, anything else that I may have missed?
Yeah, some just quite few. Standing while talking on the phone for sure. Take a shower. From D-Boy, I take a shower to kind of break things up.
Yeah.
At least once a week, whether I need it or not.
Right. And you always come up with your best ideas in the shower, Mark. So yes, good for you. All right. Let's keep moving forward here, shall we? The next one. This next one cracks me up. And this is an invention by a Swedish agency, Forsman and Bonenfors. They came up with a solution for public transport. So now we still need to take public transport, right? We still need to ride on planes and things like that. But inevitably, there will always be some person, and they refer to them as the no douchebag. And so it's, there's always one person who will want to sit next to you who doesn't, respect the whole 6 foot thing and yada, yada, yada. So they made these bags that said, I love to sit next to you, just not right now. So they call them the no douchebag. You can set it next to the bus ride, which is funny because the public transportation I took is when I was in Hong Kong or Paris during my job at Disney. And I felt bad because I'm a large dude, so I'm like, huddled over here to make sure somebody gets a seat. But this is great for me because I can just put that thing there and get the whole thing. So, yeah, really great idea. They actually gave them away for free at and in Gothenburg, and I looked them up to see if you could actually buy them. There are people selling similar ones on Etsy, but these particular ones they just gave away for a promotion. So good call. Anybody else do anything to try to help people with social distancing? I know I go the long way around getting carts at Publix. Yes. What else do you do, Sean?
I seem to walk in half circles.
Yeah.
Right? Walking straight, hook a right, hook a left. It's almost like tapping. Right?
Yeah. And I feel bad a lot of times for doing it because it's like I'm avoiding someone, but I'm really just being courteous, right? I really just want to make sure that I'm abiding by the rules, right?
Right. Yeah.
Any other comments in the chat, Jose?
Yeah, but one very interesting from the last slide that maybe you should give it a try. M40 2131 said, get connected with local bed and breakfast and stay for an overnight with them. They are open and need the business, but it will give you a mini break or mini vacay from home.
Great idea. Love that.
Yeah.
All right. So, Sean, let's go to the next one. You ready?
Yep, let's go.
Raspberry Pi. I love me some Raspberry Pi.
So this one, it makes me think back to, I was working with the Nature Conservancy here in Florida. So this is basically taking some of the latest tech, right, and tricking out an oyster farm. So the gentleman who created the business, he had another business that was around bamboo bicycles, and he closed it down, and his family was involved in commercial fishing. Long story short, the business is using the Raspberry Pi, which is a bit over my head, right? But these computer components, and they've custom built this floating catamaran, and they're taking all these measurements and data from the water and under the water and near the oyster reefs themselves in the air, and they're using all of the data basically to help them with the oyster farm. So that it improves efficiency and effectiveness. But what I think the best way to highlight it is, again, thinking about Mother Nature and taking care of everything that's needed with the nutrients for oysters to grow. Well, they have a guy with a PhD from MIT and from the Oceanographic Institute in Cape Cod that has basically helped to custom build this floating data server to help oysters grow. It's just fascinating.
That's awesome. Hey, Sean, I'm getting some feedback that your mic might be a little bit low, so I don't know if there's any adjustment that you can make there. That would be great. Yeah, interesting. Any comments in the chat about Raspberry Pi?
Yeah, Beige Consult says Raspberry Pi.
Oh, yeah, that's Barry, and Barry actually sent us this input, so thank you very much, Barry, for sending
this.
That's
right, thanks, Barry.
Yeah, and actually, we really appreciate. We did get a lot of submissions from you guys this past month. So Jose is going to post the email address to send it. So if you see something that's inspiring out there, something new and different, maybe something old but done in a new way, or maybe something new that's kind of done in an old way. We love inspiring people with that, so please feel free. We are going to actually start a Facebook community page. Sean, I'm actually saying that out loud now, so we'll actually do it.
Good.
We're going to start a
yourself.
Facebook community page to post those kinds of things. So, Diana, thank you so much for posting the link. And then if Jose, if you would save those, that would be great. So yeah, we're going to start a Facebook community page so you guys can post your submissions there. Back at Disney, we had this great thing called Creative Lab. It'll be similar to that, but we have Facebook now, so we don't need that kind of stuff. So it should be great. All right.
Just before you move on to the next one, Diana said one of my friends just made a pulse necklace device that uses Arduino to sense if you touch your face. It was released by NASA recently.
That is so cool. I love using science for those kind of applications, man. It's awesome. Awesome. So, Sean, let me just let me hear your voice real quick to make sure I'm hearing you again.
You doing okay?
Yeah, it looks great. It looks really good. Sorry, mine's probably overpowering too. So, all right. So let's move on to the next slide. I think we might have a video here as well. So this is a great little promotion that Capri Sun did. So a lot of people, of course, had to go back to physical school. We did here in Florida and a lot around the United States. And drinking fountains are off limits. So how are we going to make sure that kids get water? Capri Sun decided to take it was 5 million of their normal juice box containers, and they filled them with water and provided them to schools. And it was hilarious. They did a quick little video showcasing what the results were. So I'm going to go ahead and play that video. Let's hope we can see it here. Stand by.
Is this a joke?
It doesn't have any flavor.
Plain, it's just...
What does it taste like?
My mouth tastes like water.
It's water!
How can water be Capri Sun?
Hit or miss?
Miss.
Is there anything you wish Capri Sun did differently?
Probably not make it water.
That's a great note.
All right. That's classic. Maybe not put in water. that's
Why didn't they just do an adult version and it's vodka?
Yeah, interesting. But also interesting to see how a business pivoted to react to the circumstances, right? Just similar to the way that breweries and distilleries started making hand sanitizer, right? It was a need that was being that consumers needed, and they were fulfilling a need. So really great. Looks like we got a lot of chat about this. Jose, what do we got going on?
Yeah, so Justin Finkelstein said, brilliant. Capri Sun is about the straw and experience.
Right.
Diana says, expectations versus reality. Haha. Terry Ryan says, this is fantastic. Love that they provided those pouches. Sort of wish they had them all at the same time, since those pouches are more easily recycled.
Yeah, good one.
And Lee, so I think there's a comment from Barry, said, great give back to the community. When you and I first looked at this and when I was putting it together, so I totally understood the idea of, okay, let's do something good right now. We're going to help the schools and kids and make water available. But then when I saw the campaign, I was thinking, I was having a hard time. Like, well, why, what's the relevancy of the campaign? I mean, you're getting water to the school kids. And it's funny, but I think maybe that's even just the point. Like, especially under the circumstances, maybe the campaign is less about promoting Capri Sun and the product as much as just doing something lighthearted right now in a time that
exactly much needed. Good point.
Now, one last thing, Lee. As you and I our grandiose vision is we'll have some sponsors. You called Capri Sun a juice box, so I'm pretty sure they're not going to be supporting us.
Right.
Juice bag.
All right, a couple more comments in the chat. Dan's talking about they hike with a survival straw, filters water right out of the stream. Oh, that's cool. That's interesting. Wayne says pouches are recyclable via TerraCycle. It's a big program for Capri Sun.
Oh, yeah.
It's super
That's
cool,
great.
including upcycled art. That's great.
Cool.
Excellent. All right, let's go to the next one. And just double checking, everybody can hear Sean. Okay, double check.
You got me okay, buddy. You got me okay.
Okay. All right, here we go. Next up.
This one's pretty simple. So, I guess I won't say super fan, but a doctor in Ontario, they were trying to figure out how to better control the lines with COVID testing in their county. And so this person was a fan, Disney Parks fan, and thought, well, FastPass works for attractions.
Why not?
Something similar. So without knowing actually technically how they did it, but they modeled a virtual wait in line queue system so that it cut the wait for COVID testing down to about 45 minutes. People could sign up, leave the facility, go wait in their car, be comfortable, be notified, and come back to have their COVID tested. So simple, but brilliant, right?
Super
what else
great.
is happening out there? Steal from someone else, repurpose it, and use it.
And
Great.
thank you, Emily, my future sister-in-law in Canada, for sending us this. We really wanted to send Emily to be kind of live on the spot for this, but we didn't want to put it by the lines of people that are testing for COVID. So thank you for offering, though, Emily. We really do. We really appreciate it. So Jose, any comments about the FastPass for the COVID line?
Yeah, Living Life Laura says works really well when the weather gets cold too. Great.
Yeah, and it is cold now in Canada.
No.
Not here yet, though.
Diana says seems that the whole not having to wait in a physical line is all people need. Return times are a great solution.
Yeah, it really makes more efficient use of your own time too, right? I mean, which is why FastPass was such a hit at Disney, because you could go out and buy some merchandise.
Lee, I feel like too, and at least the way I've come to understand it is that the private difficulties with privacy around it. Everyone utilizes text, right? People, consumers in general, for personal use. It just seems like text, simple SMS, is so underutilized in our society right now, and it's so simple. So like I wish, because I had this great experience with Delta Airlines, and I needed to get their customer service, and they had a Delta branded iMessage account, and they responded immediately. I didn't have to call anyone, and I was texting for maybe 3 or 4 minutes, and my problem was solved. So I think of applying text and getting your message right to this example. I wish we'd use it more.
Interesting. Mark just said, really? There are 4 seasons in Canada: June, July, August, and winter. No, Mark, it's actually 4 seasons in Canada. Almost winter, winter, still winter, and construction. Isn't that right, Emily? All right. Yeah, really great. Just inspiring again to think differently about something that people don't think differently about, which is lines for our medical. So simple. Really great. So this one, I got this on my feed about middle of the month this past month, and totally inspired. One thing that inspired me about it was this is we call this artificial. So this was Amsterdam artist Bas Uterweek has used artificial intelligence to create stunning lifelike photographs of what history's most recognized figures and monuments may have looked like. He actually used forms multiple layer components and pinpoints common facial figures, and then he fills in the rest to make these really great art. And it's outstanding. I love the attention to detail and what you catch in things that you may not have caught before. So I've got a few of them here. Lady Liberty. I mean, come on.
Oh my gosh.
She looks like a badass in this picture. He really captured her perfect.
I could honestly, I could sit and look at that picture for an hour and just, she does. She looks like such a badass. And I would like to ask
like you said, she just ran a marathon, and she's going to her startup, and she's not letting anyone, what do you call it, roll over her in the trial or in the doing the being a lawyer and stuff. It's like amazing. She looks awesome.
I would be so scared to ask her out, but I would really want to.
Yeah, exactly. Here's a couple more. So here's one of Billy the Kid, and just super realistic, just really, really crazy.
And the fact that it was taken, Lee, from a really grainy picture,
Yeah.
right? I mean, this was using artificial intelligence to factor in what would he look like, and he looks like a total punk.
Yeah, he definitely looks like a punk, and also he looks like an outlaw. He definitely does.
Yes.
Here's one of Jesus Christ, and we've seen Jesus, what do you call it, portrayed in movies, and very similar to the way this rendering looks. Just really, again, attention to detail is super, super interesting. This is Queen Elizabeth I.
Yep.
Awesome. And then Dutch painter Rembrandt. So I'm going to just go back just a little bit, Sean, if you don't mind, because the guy on the right here is Van Gogh, right? This is and he looks just like my buddy Mark, who's in the audience. Mark, doesn't this guy look like you or what? So Mark's secretly related to Van Gogh. We had no idea.
Man.
Excellent.
Dianosaur said, reminds me of deep fakes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we should have featured that Captain America one. That was my favorite with John Krasinski. That deepfake was awesome. So we should have put that one in here. All right, Sean, all you, buddy. Go to the Dome, Sweet Dome.
Yes. So we got a couple here. So this is just highlighting the people's ingenuity, right, and also survival mode in the food industry. How do we stay alive, and also people wanting to get out. So there's a couple of examples that we've got. This one's in Chicago, and they're creating these bubbles, right? Putting them near the streets. The weather is still, well, I haven't checked the weather today in Chicago, but theoretically for October, the weather was still okay to be outside, and they could keep them a little bit warmer. It's, again, such a simple concept, right? But a number of locations are picking up on this around the world to try and solve this problem. Go to the next one.
There you go.
So the next one is, again, similar issue, trying to create space that people can experience restaurants. So in Colorado, this one ski town near Telluride, they're working with another company that refurbishes old gondolas. And so in a very kind of Epcot Food and Wine Festival-ish type of thing, they're creating these multiple gondola booths through the ski resort area that people can book and then have a meal in and just enjoy it. So it's cool. Wow. What I also like too is just the simple notion of, hey, a solution. Well, let's create something that people can sit in and isolate themselves, but they can still have the experience. But then how people just interpret it for where they are, what do they have available, what fits into the area that they're living in, so on and so forth.
Yeah, awesome. And I mean, just a great way to repurpose and recycle something, because if those gondolas, they were probably going to a landfill somewhere to take up space. So what a great thing to do. All right, so speaking of pivoting, here's another business, and we love to hear. Actually, let's go to Jose. There looked like there was a lot of comments in the chat about that one, so let's go to the chat.
About to interrupt you.
No problem.
So Emily says there's a company in Hamilton selling instructions and kit to build your own geodesic dome.
Oh, nice! Your own personal spaceship Earth. I love it.
And Diana adds to that, and she says, I was just about to say, how might we make this a portable personal solution?
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Like your own personal bubble.
Yeah.
It sounds like isn't there an animated show that has that, your own, like an umbrella bubble or something like that, right? That's a great one. I think we should jump on that one, you guys. Also, what about M Forte 2131? Many restaurants here in Lancaster, Pennsylvania have done that throughout the summer and into the fall. However, many will be closing up and the fall cold temps upon us. So yeah, their restaurants are at 50% capacity.
That's the next situation, right? Okay, cold weather, how do you keep them warm without burning them down?
Yeah.
But someone's going to figure it out.
Yep. So here's another good example, repurposing. So this is Yomiuri Land, a theme park in Tokyo. They're actually selling day passes so people can work from their big Ferris wheel. So we were talking about different ways to work from home, you guys, going out and finding another space, renting an Airbnb, etc. So this is another great example of reusing and repurposing something that probably isn't getting much business because people aren't doing that as much as they used to. So you can do the Sky High in the Ferris wheel work booth, which comes with a table, chairs, and Wi-Fi. So what a great thing to do. Are there any other examples that you guys have seen out there of non-traditional businesses offering their places up for work opportunities? Have you guys actually seen that? I know that that our own Orlando 360 was offering, at one time they were offering dinners and things like that, but have you guys seen any examples of this? Anything you see in the chat, Jose?
No, nothing yet.
Okay.
And Lee, I just as people are thinking, I did hear on a podcast Scott Galloway, who's a business professor at NYU, who's a fascinating guy to follow. But he was talking about the education system, and a caller brought up the topic of all the unused commercial space, which is a ton. And what if we were able to utilize the unused commercial space for the education system so that kids could actually congregate in smaller groups together to move away from Zoom? So again, it's just the perspective of here's an asset, it's available. Well,
yeah, and everybody's working from home, so nobody's there.
Yeah,
right?
Totally.
Interesting.
Cool. Yep.
How fun would that be from our old workplace at Celebration? They'd have a blast with all those, with the whole space in the bottom floor and everything, writing on the walls and stuff. That would be awesome. Right. All right, looks like we got some comments there. Go ahead, Jose.
Yeah. So Travel Chick says many hotels are offering packages. Diana says, I was actually wondering about Airbnbs. People have been feeling like it's more or less safe to stay at someone's home. Josh goes into that, says there's a Las Vegas hotel work from home.
That sounds like a good one, Josh. Let's do that.
Yeah, it's work.
Yeah, work from home.
Yeah, and also Living Life. Laura says Airbnbs are great. They're waiting 24 hours between rentals now too.
Oh, that's nice. That's great. Oh, that's thank brilliant. You also, Travel Chick, for sending us that. That's Cindy. Hey, Cindy, thank you for doing that. That's awesome.
We've got a story coming up too about Airbnb as well.
All right, next one up. Oh, this is great. I love it when Burger King does nice things like this. It's really nice.
So this was Burger King UK, and they launched a campaign promoting buying food from McDonald's. It's quite simply, it's to help support the restaurant industry and all the workers. And so the ad lists about 8 or 9 different restaurants that are all competitors, but they said it's for the greater good of all of us. And I love the line that they use in their Instagram post. So if you want to keep treating yourself to tasty meals through home delivery, getting a Whopper is always best, but ordering a Big Mac is also not such a bad thing.
Sounds like Sam Eagle on the Muppet movie. A salute to all nations, but mostly America.
Mostly America, right.
Yeah, really good. They've done a couple thoughtful things like this that to me gets my attention. It's similar to other philanthropic things that they've done before, right. But I mean, it's just nice to say, yeah, we want you to eat out, so we're going to spend our ad dollars to tell you to continue to eat out.
And what I want to know too, Lee, is if again, as an example, creative problem solving, if they borrowed from something else, if someone was watching Miracle on 34th Street. Right?
Yeah.
And they're saying, I think it's just great. Macy's sending people to other stores.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's perfect. Perfect. All right. Well, I accidentally hit the keyboard. Go ahead, Jose. I'm going to go back to that slide. Sorry, hit my keyboard.
Sure. So Diana says Burger King has great campaigns. So I'll be glad to order some McDonald's fries from instead of BK.
Right.
Jico Sani says they did this in Paris too. It was great seeing smaller restaurants who couldn't afford marketing.
Yeah,
listed.
Super cool.
Mm-hmm.
Super cool. And Diana had one about mom and pop shops. Win-win just got approved to increase in Florida, so sadly a lot of businesses will suffer. So yeah, we should do this for mom and pop shops as well. Good one. John, did you have something? Sorry, I cut you off.
Yeah, that's okay. I always wondered why, unless I've missed it, American Express. I always like when they do the small business day or small business week.
Yeah.
Um, it seems like such an opportunity now. I haven't, unless I missed something, but I think it'd be awesome if they would continue to re-promote small businesses, but not just for the day. It seems like it's a big opportunity right now.
Yeah,
Anyway.
agreed. All right, so this
one
is a great one that Sean found for us here, a pre-date meditation app. So everybody gets a butterfly before a hot date, right? And I can attest to this. I was single for 3 years, and I thought I was Mr. Confident, but I would actually get nervous. So I would have to take deep breaths and stuff, especially for those blind dates. Who knew, kind of thing. And so ahead of World Mental Health Day, which was on October 10th, the dating app Hinge teamed up with Headspace to bring pre-date meditation. So from October 6th, daters could access Hinge and Headspace pre-date guided meditations at no cost. The meditations last around 5 to 6 minutes, and they tackle a number of emotions you might feel before a date, from self-doubt to negative self-talk. So they're narrated by Eve Lewis. They're Headspace's director of meditation, and the first one begins by underlining how natural it is to feel nervous and stressed about going on a date. So interesting. A great thing anyway to get into kind of the right mind space for that. So just stopping and pausing. This is very similar to our sessions, right, Sean? So we ask people to do energizers, which is basically the same thing. It's kind of distracting your mind. It's getting you into the right headspace. It's calming you down. And if we don't have time for energizers, we ask people to do 3 deep breaths. And it's quite effective to get you relaxed and centered and things like that. Any other comments from the chat, Jose?
Yeah. Tay Ryan says, love this. Can this morph into a prep presentation app as well?
Pre-presentation. I mean, but some of us probably already have that. I mean, I would imagine some people who have to present probably do something to get zen. I know that I wear a bracelet that Emily gave me, actually, that I keep on my wrist that reminds me to slow down. So I that's a constant reminder because I tend to get so excited about my content. I talk really fast. So thank you, Emily, for that. But let us know. Do you have any pre-presentation, or before you're about ready to do something and you're really nervous about it? Is there something that you do to kind of calm your mind and get centered?
D-Boy61 said, I thought it said pre-date medications. I got excited.
That's my buddy Mark. I know. I thought it said that too, Mark. I had to read it a second time. So I don't know. Some people might use those too. Not judging.
I'd like to see a married more than 20 years nerves app.
Oh, interesting. Yes.
Don't leave me out. Don't leave me out of this.
Yes. Well, I mean, you probably could use that if there's conflict too. If you guys agreed to, hey, we're both going to meditate for just a second before we get together to talk about some controversial thing in your house, then that might work too.
Right.
Excellent. Jose, anything else in the chat before we move on?
Yeah, we have something going on here. So Josh says, can you imagine using Headspace as you join a date? Okay, now breathe.
Nice to meet you. Classic, Josh. Really great.
Yeah.
Claudine does a 15-minute routine before she does a gig or read music. Eye of the Tiger. Classic. Good stuff. Why not, right? I mean, it's motivating.
I will listen to Eminem songs.
Yeah?
Yeah. If I try to calm myself, it's like I can't quell the nervous energy. I need to get it out and use it.
Hey, Gabe says he needs a pump the brake bracelet. Anybody out there make bracelets on Etsy? You can send Gabe a link because he needs one of those. It actually works really well, Gabe, and I'm thankful that Emily gave it to me because not only is it a symbol of our work relationship and how much we love working with each other, but it's a great reminder. And a lot of times I have to look down at my script, so it's a constant reminder that got to take a deep breath and slow down, Sean. Because I just talked too fast. Well, one of my idols in the creative problem solving business is a guy named Tim Herson, and he is a mogul in this business. And this guy is just amazing. He is the king of pauses in his keynotes and orations. It's just nothing short of magical the way that he takes a pause and thinks about what he's going to say, and it's just awesome. So if you ever get a chance to see Tim Herson in a keynote, just make sure you absolutely do that because he does it quite well. And he may actually even be here with us. So hi, Tim, if you are out there. All right, let's go to nowhere.
Let's fly.
Let's fly.
So if I was back to my 19-year-old self, I would be so out of my mind for this.
Natty Light, bro.
Natty Light. So again, so simple, right? They were responding to their audience and people in general not being able to travel anywhere, wanting to do something. So they took a small private jet, they decked it out with video games and other tech stuff and sound equipment, and of course, a whole plane load of Natty Light. And people could take a 3-hour flight to nowhere, take off from an airport, land at the same airport with up to 3 of your friends. So it's like booze cruise, but in the air.
Yeah. And Sean, this isn't the first time we've seen these kind of promotions. This is like the golden ticket promotion, all over again. But you guys know I kind of changed my mind on the golden ticket promotion. So this is perfectly fulfilling an audience need. It's probably every college kid would love to do this, I would imagine, and it would be quite notable and quite memorable to do that. So yeah,
Hey, Lee,
yeah.
let's be honest, I'd be pretty happy to do it.
I would too. That would be a party.
By myself.
That would be a party.
I think Diana is also she wants to be part of it because she says, how do I sign up for that? But like on a train. Love that.
Oh, you want to stay on terra firma.
Right.
Love it. What else we got there, Jose?
D-Boy61 says, taking a dozen douchebags.
That's why
Then you will be by yourself.
Exactly.
I like the idea of, when coming up with a sweepstakes or an experience.
Yep.
Most of the time it's 5 days and travel, but why not just create something fun just for a day or a couple hours, right?
Yeah.
Heck of a lot easier to execute and implement, a lot cheaper, but it's still super fun to do.
Exactly.
Yeah, I
Good
love the
stuff.
idea of the
Good
train.
promotion. Thanks for finding this one. All right, so now let's go to hell.
Go to hell, Lee.
In a handbasket. Another cool promotion. So while the self-proclaimed mayor of Hell, Michigan, John Colon, is partnering up with Airbnb to invite guests to take over his post for 3 nights in October. Guests will sleep inside the mayor's house, which is this Airbnb is outfitted with Hell's finest. It includes a comfy queen bed along with Gothic-inspired decor, plenty of goodies to make a devilishly good cup of coffee. And the quote is here, "We've had coffee from hell, but this coffee in hell is really quite heavenly." With this day, the new mayor will also get a chance to explore the town responsibly, including grabbing a bite to eat at the Hellhole Diner, carving local pumpkins, and getting to sit outside the home's cozy fire pit. So, again, small businesses and small Airbnbs are seeing a rise now because people want to avoid the big cities. So I bet this was a successful promotion for them, I would imagine. I didn't see any feedback after that, but really, really good use of Airbnb and making use of the town's name, right?
And Lee, that promotion was also regionalized. It was only, if I read it correctly, I think it was only available to residents in Michigan to win.
Oh, wow. Great.
But they also had 3 or 4 dates that people could try to rent the mansion at some cheap rate.
Nice.
But I thought it was really fascinating. Airbnb that would hyper focus right in one state and one small town. I think that's interesting.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Any comments in the chat?
Yeah, we have D-Boy61 says, could do something fun in Paris.
Illinois, or Brazil, Indiana.
Yeah, or Brazil, Indiana.
That's nice.
Teddy Ryan says, I feel like Airbnb has been doing a lot more of this regulation stuff, like the blockbuster overnight rental on the West Coast.
That's interesting too. All right, Google finds love. This is our last slide, Sean. This looks really great.
All right, buddy. So we're pretty creative people, right? You and I.
I mean, I think I am, sure.
So this is kind of a coming out moment for me. I'm gonna do this live. I love data.
Oh,
love
you do,
that.
don't you?
I'm a
I
creative
knew
guy.
that about you. I secretly knew it all along.
I love it. I love it for the information it almost is. I love it for the
Yeah.
creativity it almost was.
Yeah. Well, dude,
Anyway.
you have been a marketing strategist for 10 years. You can't be a marketing strategist and not love data. Come on.
That's true. Right. That's true. That's
And
true.
I love data and data because I'm also a Star Trek Next Generation fan. So boom, I got both of them covered.
Well, look, one of my favorite newsletters is Think with Google. So I totally recommend that to everybody. But they also started this thing called, now I lost the name of it, Data. What do you have there? Data Shorts. Data Shorts. So Google's just mining their data, and they're finding these really interesting little nuggets, little stories, and they're packaging them up for timely times of the year, and so on and so forth. So we thought we'd finish on a good note that there actually is a lot of positivity out in our society right now. So these figures are specifically, and there are other categories, but these are specifically for emojis that people are searching for. So there's been 100% increase in looking for quotes for a friend, or heart emojis, best friends for best friend quotes, hug gifts.
That's
so,
awesome.
Even though this has been quite the interesting year, it's nice to know that people are looking out for the kindness of others, right?
Yeah.
But Google, again, Google as a resource, we think of Google is some really, really brilliant stuff.
And who knows more about us than Google does?
That's right.
Maybe Amazon.
Right.
What do we have going on in the chat, Jose?
We have G-Co Sandy says, data is creative.
Yeah, Gabe, it's totally creative. You can't really move forward in business unless you have someone that's being creative with the data. So yes, I agree.
Right.
And Diana also says, this reminds me of Spotify's music most listened to campaign.
Oh.
And didn't Netflix also did this and call people out and say, to the one who watched The Christmas Prince 23 times, who hurt you?
23 times. That's a lot.
I love what Spotify does with their data.
Yeah.
And how it's brilliant.
Super interesting. Well, that was a great way to wind us down, and we're doing good in time too, Sean. Well done, buddy. I'm going to go ahead and move us back to this here. Great job, Sean. That was a lot of fun. Did you have a good time?
I loved it. We added in about 4 or 5 more stories. Weren't sure how we were going to manage on time, but yeah, we did good. I like it.
Yeah, love it. So we are about ready to say goodbye for the afternoon. We really appreciate you guys being here, and we appreciate you supporting us. We are going to continue to do this, and of course we do it free of charge, and we love, because it sparks our creativity as well. So we are going to continue to do it once a month on the first Friday of every month. We would love your support though, and it doesn't mean support in the way of money. It's just making sure that you follow this channel. We'd love for you to make sure you follow. If you've been watching and haven't actually logged into Twitch, we'd love for you to create a Twitch ID and log and follow this channel. You can also subscribe to this channel because Twitch is actually owned by Amazon. So if you subscribe, you have Amazon Prime, you get the first month for free, and they don't charge you anymore after that. So if you would subscribe, that would be lovely. We'd also love for you to share our posts when we go to talk about Inspiration in a Box on LinkedIn or on Facebook. If you could share our posts and also invite your friends. We want to see more people. We want to inspire as many people as we can. You are welcome to share the invite with your friends, your family, all of your coworkers. I know I'm welcoming one of my clients is here, Sure Payroll out of Chicago. So welcome all the Sure Payroll folks. Really appreciate you guys being here. I see some of my clients from the Adventure Travel Trade Association. So thank you guys so much for being here. And of course, all my past and present Disney friends, all our past and present Disney friends, thank you a lot for being here. Any parting words of wisdom, Sean?
We loved getting the recommendations on articles from people too. So if you come up with anything right now, you can email us at brainstorminabox@gmail.com, and we'd love to use some of your information on our future stuff. And like Lee was saying, we're expanding our channels and figuring out at the same time where to put ourselves with Brainstorm in a Box.
Yep.
So we would love your support. Please share with people. We'd love to get a lot of people signing in with us that first Friday every month.
Excellent. And then, Jose, if you wouldn't mind putting our LinkedIn information in the chat for everybody, we'd love to connect with you. For those of you who we don't know out there in the audience, please connect with us via LinkedIn or Facebook. And then also, if you guys want to be included in we do have a monthly calendar invite that we send out. We'll probably send it out probably first part of next week for the next month, which is we'll be going on live Friday, December 4th, again at 11:30. So if you want to be part of that calendar invite, please message myself or Sean or that Brainstorm in a Box email. But until then, thanks, you guys. It was really great.
Thanks, everybody.
We really enjoyed seeing
great.
you, and hope everybody has a great weekend, and we will see you back here in another month. Hopefully I'll see some of you tonight at the DJ feed. It's 9 to 10:30. It's a fun dance party. I see a lot of our regulars on the chat now, so hopefully we'll see you back. Bye, guys.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.